Hi there, this is Joanna from the channel JCLady, Alternative Education. Today we've got the ninth video about grammar, Polish grammar as an example of an ancient grammar. And today I want to talk about short words, short parts of speech. And basically I would like to talk about a conjunction, a pronoun, preposition and exclamation. Now look, let's start. First of all, we can say that there are two groups. There are those that can be changed in the sense that can be declined. They've got the declination, they change the endings. And those are the certain pronouns. Most of pronouns in Polish are declined. But the bigger group are those short words that cannot be declined, that are not changed. They don't change the form. And those are conjunction, preposition, exclamation, and pronoun. There is one type of pronoun that cannot be changed, cannot be declined, and there is also an adverb, but in fact I'm not going to talk about the adverbs. Adverbs are a little similar to prepositions, but they are longer, and I will talk about it maybe in another video. Let's talk about really short words. Conjunctions. Look, conjunctions are used basically, it's called spójnik in Polish, and they are basically used to join two independent parts, two individual parts. It can be two words, like for example a dog and a cat, and would be the conjunction, or they can join full sentences, right? Two sentences, and make one big sentence, combine from two, right? Made of two sentences. In fact, mainly in Polish, but in Latin, for example, too, we use conjunctions to build sentences. Now, this is very logical, and it's taken from logic, this part of grammar. There are two types of sentences, and I will talk about it more in another video. But basically, there are two parts of sentences. Some sentences are built the way that they are made of two or more sentences, but the parts, let's say two sentences, are similar in importance. They are equal, you can say. And those are współrzędne, meaning the sentences that are equal. They have the same rank. And those sentences are joined with conjunctions. And you've got the same in English, in fact. Everything which is like and, has and, or. Those are sentences that are in equal rank. But also you've got the other sentences that are, one of them is describing the other. And in this sense, you don't use conjunctions according to Polish grammar. You use the pronouns. But we'll come to that. For now, conjunctions. There are four types of sentences that you create with conjunction, and they are based on those conjunctions, and there are three types of conjunctions in Polish. One of them is one type of conjunction is I. In English you say and, but in Polish it's I, and it's important because I says that it's individual, ego, one, single, important, and it makes a new individuality. And this conjunction and creates or combines two sentences that are really equal, but they don't really react with each other. There's no reaction. They just stand one next to the other, this, and they are like two lines, you know, going in the same direction, but they don't really interact. That's one type of conjunction, and that's that one, right? E. In English, and. Now, another type is the conjunction więc or stąd, and you've got the conjunction so, and they are based, this type of sentence and those conjunctions like więc, stąd, and so, they are based on those letters, sounds also, that are talking about kind of spreading. It's like w in Polish, więc, it means so. It says that something goes out, goes from you to the other. It spreads, okay? It develops. It gets bigger. And is the same, moves like that, spreads and goes around, right? So that's it. And here you've got sentences that are equal, współrzędne, the same rank, with the conjunction so, but they have the reaction one to another, in this sense that there is first some sentence that is saying something, and from it comes the consequence, right? The other, but they are still the same rank, right? It's not like one is describing the other. No, they are independent, but there is a logical consequence, right? When you use so, it means that one sentence is just prolonging the other. That's why you've got spreading, okay? Make it longer, make it bigger, say more. And third type of conjunctions are those that talk about some interaction, but really strong interaction, meaning that they are fight, kinda, they go against, or they go against, fight, and then they go in the other direction. So those conjunctions are based on such letters as a, in Polish a, and I told you it's like two parts, but joined together, but they are kinda fighting, like two horses in a chariot. Or b, it's like two parts, but together. Z is the same because z, it's like zomb, thief, cutting something. And c, it's like half of a circle. It's also cutting. I told you about that in science, in the video about signs and sounds. So those are sounds and letters that make the conjunctions, such as ale in Polish, and ale, or lecz, and ale, lecz make sentences that go against. They are same rank, they are important, but they go against, meaning you say this, but this. Okay, and you've got the same, because you've got b, and b signifies that there is some partition. Okay, and here are those sentences that just don't like each other. They have to be together. They were fighting, but they went against, or in different directions, but they are still the same rank. And those are sentences that we call rozłączne. They are going in different directions. And we use conjunctions zaś, a, albo. And they are based on those letters, a, z. And what do you have? While, you could say. This, she lives here while she lives in the other place, right? Okay, so those are conjunctions. and the meaning of conjunctions based on letters and sounds. Now, the other type of sentences are those sentences that are, in Polish we say podrzędne, meaning one sentence is more important and the other is not less important, but the other is serving, describing the higher rank. And here we don't use conjunctions, because conjunctions are only for the equal sentences. We use pronouns. Why? Conjunctions, spójnik, spaja, conjunction joins to same rank sentences. Now, zaimek, pronoun, it says that it's put in place of something, because how do you create those sentences? Those sentences are created, you've got one sentence which is single, you can say there is only one verb inside, simple sentence. For example, I like sleeping. I like sleeping. It's a simple sentence, and this word sleeping, okay, the noun from the verb sleeping, the gerund, you can change. I like that I can sleep. And this again is already a double sentence, like a sentence made of two. I like that I can sleep. And that part, I like, is more important, higher rank, and here is that I can sleep. Now, that in Polish it would be called zaimek, pronoun względny, but it doesn't, relative pronoun. And basically you use the same name for those, but that basically says that you don't use here conjunctions, you use here pronouns because they are they are za, they are replacing something. That this sentence that starts with that is replacing some word that was standing here, sleeping. All right? Prepositions. Prepositions. It's a little complicated in Polish. Przyimki, it's called, and I explained that already in the video about parts of speech. Now, first of all, it has to be said that in Polish now the grammar was much changed and messed up, and many prepositions were joined. Basically, prepositions often in Polish join with verbs, and they make new verbs, and that's a normal process. That's not I'm saying that it's wrong. We've got some prepositions like, for example, u, za, o, od, nad, it's over, behind, and so on. I will tell you in a moment. But those prepositions go together with verbs in Polish. What does it mean? It means that we've got the word robić, do, and just like in English, you've got undo, for example, but we've got many new words made with prepositions that are glued, okay, that are put, it's a prefix, put in front of the verb and glued together. So what does it make? It makes, for example, urobić, zrobić, zarobić, obrobić, odrobić, narobić, nadrobić, dorobić, przyrobić, przerobić, wrobić, wyrobić, okay, grobić, grabić. You see, you've got a few, or even like a dozen. You can even have more words with different meaning. Now, what changes? The prepositions and prefixes in verbs, they give, in the basic meaning and at the very, very beginning of the language stage, it was giving the sense or the aspect of space and time. And that's what the prepositions are all about, space and time. I will show you in a moment. Unfortunately, at some moment, those words, those prefixes with verbs started showing or telling about the aspect perfectum or perfectus, perfectum, you should say, from Latin, right? We call it dokonany, meaning something finished. It's like perfect tense, or in fact it's an aspect, not tense. But that's wrong, because the perfect aspect should be done and was done differently in Polish. All I'm saying is that prepositions do not serve for making the aspect, the perfect aspect, the dokonaność. That's it. Prepositions and prefixes in verbs are for showing the space and time. Why? I see it like that. If you want to look at it philosophically, you would have it like that. It's like space and time, they are combined, they are together, they are like mingling and going, right? If this is space, then this is time, points in time. And you can look at it also as squares and circles, where circle would be more as time, more feminine aspect, and square would be more as masculine aspect. All right, but they are put together, and it's all about sacred geometry and all this philosophy. But let's leave it for now. Now let's look at prepositions. Let's explain a preposition such as at. In Polish, it's called, you say o. For example, if you say at 2 p.m., it's a preposition that is used to show time, point in time. And now in Polish, it's really logical, because it's o. And o, I already told you a few times before that o makes a circle. It means that you had this whole cycle, so it's like a circle, and you're again in one point you stopped. So o can be here, the point inside the circle, or it can be here, because in Polish you use o drugiej, meaning at 2 p.m., for example, and o stole, o Ani, meaning I'm talking about an or about a table. And in Polish it's the same. O. O, because O is this point in time, and also circling, telling, for example, telling everything about a table. All right. Now there's another do, od. Now do means to, od means from. Now in Polish it's just do, od. Why? Because when you've got od, odd means that you are coming from the middle, from the point in time when you stopped. You did the full circle, you stopped. You are here in O, stopped, focused, middle, and then you go odd from this point, odd, to some barrier. And I already told you about letters, the d, it means that you are, when you say it, even you feel, you go and go against, and you are stuck against some barrier. Okay, so that's it. Odd. Now, the other direction, do, it's you go from the barrier to the middle point, right? O, and you are again in the middle. O. O is in the middle of something, or encircling. That's it. Now, the rest would be easier to explain here, because I'm not going to tell you everything. But look, let's say we've got such a cage, and this would be made of rattan, let's say, like you've got baskets, right? Old style baskets. And you are weaving it, right? You are putting some threads or some, or just rattan, one in another, okay, like this, and you use v, letter v is weaving, is putting there and back, there and back, there and back, and that's what we do. And in Polish, v, meaning putting in something or be in something, is v. Now there is one preposition join, like v, it means that you go this direction, v, but you go e. V is like v, meaning that you go and get individual because you come out of something. Now, there is also ve, the opposite direction, inside the box, for example, ve, or inside when you're weaving, ve, and ve is meaning that you stopped being individual because you hide in something, all right, ve. And is the tree with branches. You remember, I hope. Okay, for example, na is on, and in your on, you've got a little this sense. Now, n, what is n? Tick, 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 n. And n is like the wave of life, right? Your heart. But it's spreading. You see it, it's in front of you, so it's on, na, on some space that you see on the horizon, right? Na, but it's spreading. And no stopping, no barrier, all right? And it's na, but then we've got also nad. Nad is when na goes a little higher than your eyes, and it's going against some barrier, then it's d. And nad basically means that it's something is over. So we still see it, it's on in the space, but it's going on the barrier. And nad can be over the barrier or just under the barrier, right? Then we've got also s. S is this, when you are sleeping, and it's like the snake, and you don't see it, right? It's just, it's not in your eyes, you don't see it really. It's not on the surface, it's splitting down, or something going up to you, from up to you, right? It's s. And it's also this, right? It's like that. And means from, okay, from. When something goes down and it's not really on the surface. And k, ku, g, it just means that something goes and it goes near you and it usually touches. K, ku, go to something, but it's not like it's a barrier, it can be a person, and you go k, and you touch it, right? So it's not a barrier. K, ku. Usually you say k, ku, to some person, a person. Then you've got przy. Now przy is a little complicated. Przy is based on p when you get attached. Like I was talking about be, remember? You get attached, p, then sh, j, it's a tool, and then przy, I is individual. So p is next to something, przy, it means that something stands attached to some individual, right? Very close. And there is no movement, usually stands. Or moving with that thing, but this thing attached, it's not moving. It's not really moving separately. Now, przed in before or in front of, because we've got przy and przed. Okay, in front of. Przed, it would mean that something is not really next to. It's a little as if there was a barrier. Przed. Okay, it's standing next to, but not touching really. Okay, przed. It's difficult to explain in English, all this stuff. Okay, now let's just talk a little about wykrzyknik, which is exclamation, and then we finish because I see it's long. In Polish and in English, you've got such exclamations as hello, I don't know if you've got, yeah, you've got hey. But in Polish, really, you use it often. And we had before which is a sound, you noisy, you hear the sound, voicing. And you have which is kind of voiceless. And we've got both, because we've got hop, hop, halo, written with one H like that. Hop, hop, halo. And what do? You use more breath, and usually you shout hop, hop, halo, and so on. It's use some effort. And ha ha ha, ha ha ha, it's when you laugh, and you don't really shout, kinda, right? It's a little lower. But basically, signifies when it's in the exclamation that you use your breath, and it's really an effort to say it, that it has to pass through the space. It has to be strong. Signifies also something that is strong. But opposite, when you've got sh, ch, s, it just means that it has to be cut, ch, ch, okay, cut off, or that it just because c is cutting, and when you've got s, it just means that it's going silent. S, sh, sh. That's what we do. We don't say sh, we say sh. Okay, now there are others, like for example, tak, nie, there are also exclamations, or puk puk, we've got tok tok. Those letters on those sounds like t, k, they talk about going against some barrier and touching it, or really being hit against, or just standing in front of it. So barrier, t, okay, or k, okay, k, 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 k. So that's why in those stuk, puk, when in fact what you say that you are touching some barrier, you've got those letters and sounds. And that's it. Yeah, bzz, I think I explained already in the previous video about sounds. And yeah, that's it from me today. I hope it was understandable. And subscribe please to my channel, and wait for more. And remember that the language manifests your world, creates. Bye.